Yo guys, welcome back to the channel. Now today I wanted to sit down with you guys and girls and just give you my thoughts and impressions of Crimson Desert. Now this game, as you can see, is absolutely stunning, very graphically pleasing. Open world is like ridiculously huge. So as you can see in the background here, that is actually a dragon flying away. And yeah, this game, like, it's very hard to describe the game because it's just ridiculous. Like, I mean that in a good way and also in a bad way. But everything you can see around me, you can actually get to, you can actually explore. If I open up the map just to show you guys, this is what I've done so far. So you can see this is the map, ridiculously big, guys. And you can go to every single part of this here. I'm currently around in the Crimson Desert, which is obviously what the game is called. And now also, there is also a sky map. So it's called the Abyss. So this is the sky map. So there's actual areas in the sky, which is absolutely ridiculous as well. So what I'll do now, just to show you what you can do, is really cool. I'm going to teleport up there, up into the Abyss basically. And yeah, no spoilers. Obviously, I don't want to give you any story spoilers in case you haven't played the game yet, but I literally can't stop playing the game. Now, little quick TLDR backstory. Pearl Abyss was making Crimson Desert for a very long time. It originally was going to be an MMORPG. Now, obviously, if you're you know, like a OG subscriber to the channel, you know that I cover mostly MMORPGs on this channel. But guys, I'm a gamer overall and I enjoy many genres. I enjoy MMOs, I enjoy open world games, ARPGs, FPS games. So yeah, single player games. And I was really excited. The reason why I got excited for this game to begin with was because it was going to be an MMO. So it was going to basically be, if you like, the sequel to Black Desert Online, which, if you don't know, is made by obviously Pearl Abyss, right? Then at some point during the game's lifespan, they decided to say that they were no longer going to make an MMO, but it was still going to be an online game. So online multiplayer, most likely, you know, co-op and stuff. And then again, further on down the line, they decided to say, look guys, we're now making it just a single player game. And I can definitely admit with you, I was a bit disappointed when I first initially heard that, because I was hoping for the, you know, MMO, I was hoping for the online aspects. But guys, I'm actually glad that they changed it and they shifted over to a single player game, because the game is phenomenal, right? But it's so large and it's so big. There's so many different like things to do, so many different features. The combat is insane. I'll show you some clips of combat in a minute, but I don't think it would have worked as an MMO. Or if it would have, if it was going to be an MMO, they would have had to, or definitely lowered the graphic fidelity. And they've already said that. They came out and said, guys, look, we hear you about the, you know, the online aspects, but we would have to make the game graphically worse, basically. And they don't want to do that. And I mean, not every game has to be massively multiplayer online or even just an online game. Now, as of recording, they have just announced that they have also sold over 4 million copies, guys. And the player numbers are holding very, very well. Very, very high concurrent player numbers every single day. So yeah, I don't think it would have achieved the success that it has if it was an MMO. But hold on, let me jump down. Let me just show you what you can do here, guys. This is just insane. So obviously, I'm high up in the sky. I'm in the Abyss section. And I'm just going to drop, guys. We're just going to drop down. I'm just going to free fall. And just to give you a grasp of how obviously huge this game is and the map. And you can just go everywhere you want. So we're going to do a little skydive here. So this is us. We're now coming from the Abyss now into the real, you know, the open world, the main world down below. And yeah, this is the Crimson Desert where you just saw me start the video off. And all of this I've been to and you can go to. It's just insane. So let me just carry on falling. Let's do a little bit of gliding. So yeah, basically, I'm going to start off with a little bit of the the things that I do feel isn't, you know, needed or they could have done better. So some of the stuff you do in the game, like quest wise, and some of the mechanics, they're very overly complicated for like no reason, right? Whether it's because it's a bit buggy, I don't know, but there's some stuff that is just ridiculously complicated or a little bit tedious where it doesn't need to be. Now, I've seen a lot of complaints about the controls, and I fully agree. The control system and the control scheme is one of its biggest problems, for me personally anyway. Like a lot of the stuff, so if I bring out my weapons here, my swords, there's a lot of stuff where you have to hold other buttons, right? Which, I mean, it's like... I mean, I guess in BDO as well, there's lots of combo-based stuff. But like, for example, I have to hold down control to block. And you might think, well, why don't you just change the keybinds? Which you can change the keybinds. But the issue is, because a lot of the actions have like multiple, like one button can do multiple actions. So just say, for example, I want to change block from control to something else. Well, the thing is, the control also brings out the lantern. So do you see what I mean? So if I remove control and put like, I don't know, right click on my mouse, it's then going to come up with a prompt to tell me, oh, this is tied to that, or that's bound to that. They have heard us though, so I will give them that. The developers have heard us. They have made some really good changes and a lot of hot fixes already. And I will say that the speed that Pearl Abyss is rolling out these updates, it's almost as if this game was still actually an MMORPG live service game. Now you can see, obviously, of course, another thing, I've called out a mount. There's multiple mounts you can get in this game. This is one of the legendary mounts. I do have a video on that, so I'll link that down below if you want to know how to get this legendary bear. But the game overall, guys, if you're expecting a fully fledged story, like a proper deep RPG story, you're not going to get that in Crimson Desert. The game does still feel like MMO-esque by the side quests. You've got tons of side missions. There is a MSQ. This is the MSQ. I'm currently on the Sage of the Desert. There's chapters for the MSQ. Then we have tons of faction quests, so like side missions. Think of it like that in an MMORPG. And as you can see, there is so much that I haven't done yet. I'm like 70 hours in of my gameplay. I still haven't finished the MSQ. I've got all of this still to do. There's challenges to do as well for you to, like exploration challenges, mastery challenges. There's combat challenges. So yeah, we've got a skill system as well. You do get 2 other companions that you can play as well. I'm going to be honest though, most of your playtime, unless you go out of your way to play with the other 2, is going to be with the main guy, Cliff. Now, some people may want to play with the other 2, but I personally just enjoy Cliff, is what it is. But yeah, so you have a skill tree here as well. This is your stamina. This is for your health, and this is for your spirit. So think of this like your mana, basically. But yeah, like I said, I don't want to go into too much. Like, I don't want to spoil too much for you guys. I just wanted to talk about the game really and how I feel. And yeah, so like I said, negative wise for me was just the controls definitely need more tweaking. The performance has been hit and miss. I'm playing on PC. They have recently just again done another hotfix to sort out some issues with DLSS. I know on PlayStation it's actually been running quite good, but again there has obviously been some performance issues there as well. But they are working on it, and they're definitely making some big changes and good changes. Also, the stamina whilst flying or gliding was really bad at the start, but they have improved that a lot, guys, and you can go a lot further than what we could have before. So that's really cool. Now let me just do a little bit of I'll show you a little bit of combat, because I did say I was going to show you a clip, but there are some enemies here, so I might as well just fight these guys, right? So you can blind people. And you can see the combat is just ridiculously fast-paced. Super fast-paced. You can dodge as well. There is iframes, by the way. There is a lot of like wrestling moves you can also have. So yeah, guys, you can see very, very cool combat. Let's just blind these guys again. Now there is a lot of NPCs here, so we are going to just make a little run for it, guys. We're just going to escape. No, my bear's trying to fight them, so we're not going to do that, because your bear can die. But if your mount does die, don't worry. You just have to wait, and there is like a cooldown, and then you can then obviously call it back again. But yeah, let me just escape from here quickly. Alright, we should be safe now. But yeah, guys, so that was the combat, like I said. So combat for me is amazing, very fast-paced. You have different weapons. You can see, obviously, I'm dual-wielding. You have, so you can dual-wield, or you can use a sword and shield. You also have a bow and arrow. So yeah, you've obviously got armor that you can upgrade. So it has all of, like I said, the MMO elements still, with the upgrades and the side quests and stuff like that. But then you have the freedom of it obviously being a single player game, so you're not falling behind anybody. You can just do the MSQ as slow as you like. You can explore. You don't even have to touch the MSQ if you don't want to for ages. There are players, I'll show you here. Hanand is the first place that you are at. There are players that have played like 100+ hours and they're still in the Hanand region, guys. They haven't even explored the rest yet. So that's just think of it like that. You can play hundreds and hundreds of hours and still be in the first region if you really wanted to. So yeah. Other than that, like I said, without going too much into like spoilers, for me, guys, this game is definitely a Game of the Year contender. You don't have to agree with me, obviously. You can disagree. There's people that really seem to not like this game, or it's just not for them. But yeah, for me, it's phenomenal. Very, very good game. Crazy game. There's like puzzles, boss fights, you know, side quests, missions. You can ride mounts. You can do, you know, powers. It's like so many games rolled into one, and I'm just having a blast. Like I said, I'm addicted right now. I can't stop playing the game. But yeah, this is just my opinion. I just wanted to just come on here and just chat and explain to you guys how I'm feeling about the game. And yeah, leave me a comment down below. Are you playing Crimson Desert? If you are you really enjoying it? Or did you try it and then you don't enjoy it? Or have you just not even bothered to buy it yet? And if you haven't, why? Is it because it's a single player game? Or yeah, whatever your reasons are, I'd love to hear your thoughts and feedback. So yeah, don't forget to like the video and subscribe. And I'll be back for more videos. Have a beautiful day and I'll see you soon. Take care. Peace.